So here in our original less file that contains the original CSS from our project, we can see this duplication of effort directly in the CSS. We see, like we saw in the slides, a nav and then a nav unordered list, nav unordered list, list item, and it goes even further to say anchors inside list items and then hover against those anchors. This makes sense. We can read this, but as it becomes complex, it becomes more and more duplication and less obvious that they may be related. It also implies that you can put these anywhere, and the maintenance of this CSS or this less file over time would be better served with nesting. It implies to people that it change it later that they are related, so they should come together and be in the same part of the CSS file or even in their own individual CSS file. So the way we change this to the nested format is literally to go ahead and just nest it. So I'm going to take our unordered list and I'm going to put it inside the nav tag. And then I can get rid of that repeated section for the nav. Let's look at the raw generated CSS to see what this looks like. CSS, my less. So if we come down to our nav, we can see that even though they're nested, the less processor did the correct thing and it decoupled them or denormalized them into the two different calls. So the nesting isn't about the runtime, it's really about the design time experience and the maintenance of these design assets. Let's go ahead and continue this by going ahead and nesting our list item inside the unordered list, and I typically keep them nested visually as well. This is not required, it's just using the curly braces to imply the nesting, but because the indentation is there, it makes it a little easier to see the relationship between them. And then I'll actually pull the last couple of these in so we can see something that has some girth to it by continuing that nesting. Now in this case, we're really saying we just need to attach the hover here. So I'm going to use that ampersand combinator that we talked about in the slides. So this is going to take this A and make the decoration none, but then say A and the hover is going to be this piece right here, the underline. So all of these nested elements, even though it looks like one solid structure, when we go ahead and look at the generated, it's going to do the right thing and generate all 5 elements for you. And it'll also be smart about ordering them in the right way and making sure the specificity is no more than necessary. Let's do it to one more section just so we can kind of follow it through. Here's another fairly simple section, a nav inside of a footer. I'll go ahead and move it down, nest it in and get rid of the duplication, and we can see that there again is this relationship between them, and that our resulting CSS is still that denormalized or decoupled version of exactly what we specified.